Welcome to Linux Command Line Complete Video Course. I'm Susan Lauber, and I've been working with Unix and Linux command line interfaces since the late 1980s, when graphical desktops were a cutting-edge technology. Like many of my colleagues of the time, I learned commands on the job and mostly by reading the online documentation and existing shell scripts. I'm currently an independent instructor and consultant. I focus on system administration architecture, interoperability, and security topics with a variety of open source products. In these lessons, I introduce common utilities at the Linux command line. While learning commands for specific tasks, you also acquire the skills necessary to find commands and options to meet your individual needs. The first lesson provides an overview of Linux command line usage and accessing the command line from various locations. The next lesson covers methods of finding documentation for commands on the system. By using local documentation, you ensure that options specified will work with the version of the command on your system. With information on how to issue a command and find options for commands, the next lessons introduce commands for specific tasks. Much of the work done at the Linux command line involves files. This includes writing scripts, analyzing logs, changing configurations, archiving data, and more. The first tasks focus on providing commands for listing, reading, and moving files, using special characters and archives to be more efficient at transferring files, and a choice of utilities for editing text files. With basic file management covered, the next lesson looks at access control in order to work with files owned by or shared with other users. Linux is a multi-user operating system, and each service owns its own files. System configuration files need to be changed by a privileged user, and data files may be shared across one or more teams of users. With the ability to escalate privilege, the next lessons show how to find files on the system. Not everyone puts a specific application's data, configuration, or log files in the same place, so being able to locate those files by name or owner, or by searching the contents of the file is a useful skill. It eases the transition from one distribution to another and helps with troubleshooting an upgrade or installation of a new application. The Linux system is not just files. You cannot complete your tour of tasks without also looking at process management. Process management includes not only viewing processes running on the system and terminating those processes as necessary, but also commands to show available resources on the system and syntax to save the output of commands to files. Last but not least, the basic Bash shell configuration lesson introduces automation through scripting by modifying the shell configuration scripts to make day-to-day use of the command line more efficient for each user.